Good morning, my darlings. Welcome to a new vlog. It's been a while since we did a workout together here in the gym, but I'm doing an open air workout this morning. It is a beautiful morning, but thankfully we finally have a little bit of respite from the heat. This week it's still going to be nice, but nowhere near as crazy hot as it has been. So lots of things to catch up on. I've got a load of laundry already going from Ibiza. The suitcase is definitely not unpacked. I just grabbed the laundry out and got that going. So I think it should dry quite nicely in the sun and the breeze today. I've got a few lovely new things. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but slightly autumnal wardrobe things that I want to share with you. It's a good time of year to just be aware of what's going to be on trend this autumn, so I thought I would go through a little bit of that with you later today. And also for lunch today, I'm already planning what I'm going to eat for lunch. I would like to recreate, because on Mondays we have a team lunch. All the girls are in the office today. We've also got Jake over today. So I thought I would recreate a little bit of an Ibiza style lunch. So pan con tomate, jamon, gazpacho, my favorite thing. So that is the plan for today. And anyway, I'm digressing and talking to you instead of starting my workout. So I'm going to do a 20-minute spin, quick arm workout, and then it's on with the day. I have been getting really back into Leanne Haynes' oldest's rides lately. I think she's brilliant. I mean, look at this view. Completely open air workout. Got the fields. I wouldn't be surprised if the combine harvester comes by the fields in the next day or so. And our amazing wall of hydrangeas, which I'm going to pick a few of those later today as well. One of my socks is purple because Charlie accidentally washed it with his blue shorts. I have no idea what a tropical house ride is, but I'm going to give it a go.
Okay, 3.5 minutes to get warm, 15.5 minutes.
Okay, proper good morning, darlings. Gosh, it's such a nice day. It makes such a difference to my mood. It feels like we're actually having a summer this year. Felt like we didn't have one last year. Do you remember? It was just rain after rain after rain. But yeah, this is absolutely glorious. So it's going to be a good day. I'm having a very quick pre-shower, post-gym pamper. And as I've been away and with the temperatures, lots of time outside, my skin just needs hydrating. And this arrived in the post last week. Perfect timing. Resurrection Girl from Pie. And yesterday, 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 in particular, if you didn't watch to the end of the last vlog, I had a really amazing day. Charlie and I drove down to Somerset. It was an event hosted by the legendary Charles Dowding. If you're into your gardening, you'll be impressed by that. It was really cool to see his garden in real life after seeing it so much in his YouTube videos. Charles Dowding pretty much single-handedly taught me how to grow vegetables. If anyone ever asks me how did I learn, I always say I just watch people's videos on YouTube, and Charles was probably the main one alongside Hugh Richards and Ben from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. So I was fangirling. He's my favourite gardener. Ooh, tied with Monty Don, I would say. Actually, I would say Charles is my favourite. I'm going to be bold and say that. I'm digressing. Yeah, so it was an event yesterday that Charles hosted at his home, homemakers, and in his garden, and it was co-hosted with 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, whose YouTube channel I love. He's just incredibly wholesome, does a lot of beautiful cooking. He's got a cookbook that I've spoken about before called Plants to Plate, and he was talking a lot about looking to more natural solutions for everything. From his clothing, he wears only natural fibres, to the cleaning products in the home. As you guys know, I've definitely dabbled with that, to the products that you use on your skin. And I know you guys have been on this journey with me a lot, but I really just don't want to be plastering really strong chemicals, man-made chemicals on my body as much. Sometimes there are things that I'm just like, yeah, that is a product that really works for me, so I'm going to keep on using it. But when there are brands as good as 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, for example, that take their ingredients really, really seriously, nothing nasty in these products, then, and you're also not sacrificing anything because they really work and they're a pleasure to use. So this has got blue tansy oil in it, which is really nourishing, really hydrating for the skin. Contains nut oil as well. What other ingredients are in here? Do I still have the box? Yes, I do. Camellia, helianthus anise seed, sunflower seed oil, sweet almond oil, shea butter, camellia oil, plum oil, orange fruit water, resurrection leaf extract. Oh my goodness, just so many nice ingredients. So I am going to leave this to soak into my skin for 10 minutes, and I recommend that you just take 10 minutes to yourself. Don't sit there on your phone and don't go and crack on with work, which is what I would normally do. So I'm going to do a really nice slow body brushing, and then I might actually just sit and look out the window because it's such a nice view. So let the pamper morning commence. Okay, my darlings, it's a couple of hours later. I've had my hair in heatless curls post shower, and I think I may have made the mistake of taking them out a little bit too soon. My hair still feels that tiny little bit damp, so I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna just leave my hair looking a little bit bonkers while we have a little chat about trends. And it always kind of blows my mind a little bit that it's the middle, literally the peak of summer, middle of July, that we start thinking about autumn winter trends, and my brain is just not ready yet, but we're starting to see autumnal trends. I know it's crazy, coming into the shops, and while I don't feel mentally or physically prepared for this, I do like to educate myself on what the trends are going to be for the coming season, just so that they're somewhere in the very back of my mind. I would say that for the last 5 years, honestly, since leaving London, trends have been getting less and less and less important to me, especially micro trends, like those things that are a bit weird, whether it's trainers that look like socks, or what have we had, like the horseshoe trousers, you know, the kinds of trends that in reality are just not really that wearable. And you guys, I'm sure, will know that for me, I want everything that enters my wardrobe to be timeless. I want it to be classic. I want it to be versatile, utilitarian, and just actually work and be the kind of thing that if I pull it out in 5 years or 10 years, it's still going to be a piece that I love wearing. It's instead of it being something that's like, ooh, lol, do you remember when this was on trend 5 years ago? So I definitely have been, for the last 5 years or so, been leaning towards more timeless classic outfits at the core. And then sometimes if there's a trend that I really like, that I think I will like for many years, like even for example right now, you could say that floral and raffia combination is very trendy, but that is a trend that speaks to my soul. Like, it's something that I'm willing to invest in because it is so true to me and my kind of lifelong loves, not just a trending passion at the moment. I think it's tomato girl summer this summer, isn't it? And maybe I'm following the trend in what I'm cooking, gazpacho for lunch today, but I'm not going to go out and buy a 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 tomato shaped handbag. It's just a little bit too crazy. Anyway, I therefore look for classic, beautiful items from retailers that I know and that I trust quality-wise, and then maybe the way that I style them, or maybe something subliminally in the back of my head will speak to a trend if I am at least aware of them, which is why for the last couple of days I've just had kind of trend forecasting videos on my YouTube channel. I've been rewatching some of the runway shows just to kind of familiarize myself with the trends, but it's all about making them wearable. So I thought, as I show you a few pieces that are essentially high summer pieces, these are outfits that have got autumn trends in mind, but they're very wearable for right now. The new collection from Hobbs is perfect for ticking all of these boxes. You guys know that I love Hobbs. I have been a Hobbs customer for many years, and they are the definition of timeless and classic outfits with a hint of the trends, or they make the perfect base if you want to implement just a little bit of trend into an otherwise very, very classic look. Their High Summer July collection is perfect, especially for this time of year, especially for today, for this week, because it's kind of all-weather clothing. So it might be a very practical fabric in a practical colour, but they've also got some gorgeous outerwear that if there's some drizzles, which I think we are scheduled later on this afternoon, and definitely tomorrow could be a bit drizzly, it's just all weather's absolutely covered. So let's start with what I'm wearing right now. And a trend that I have spotted coming up, I've heard people refer to it as so many different things. Is it British heritage? Is it countryside essentials? It's something that it's a trend that has not really gone anywhere, I would say, for the last few autumns, but these really utilitarian, practical kind of countryside core colours, like this olivey khaki colour, are going to continue, thankfully, to be really on trend this autumn winter. Even if they weren't on trend, I think I would still be wearing them, but it's so nice when something that is very wearable is incredibly on trend. I also heard someone else refer to this trend as Queen Elizabeth goes to Balmoral, like those kinds of vibes. So imagine layering some tweed, some boucle maybe, a headscarf, you know, that kind of vibe. But that full granny Queen going to Balmoral might not be that wearable, but this kind of outfit really leans into the colour story and the silhouette of that trend. So very practical shirt style dress with a little bow around the waist, which just makes it ultra flattering. And of course, the essential, we have got pockets, which in my opinion is absolutely crucial for a dress like this. We're also finding that smart styles with shirt style detailing, very on trend for autumn winter 2025. So we've got shirt style detailing up here, and then the fabric again, very practical, nice natural fabric. And even the skirt length, this is the most on trend length for this autumn, summer going into autumn, this kind of mid-axi length. So we are not seeing any more of the kind of mini dresses or mini skirts that is going out for the coming season. And this very elegant, quite demure mid-axi length is what we're going to be seeing as the most on trend skirt length this autumn, which personally I am thrilled about. The next trend, which is a little bit love it or hate it, I personally love it. We are seeing bohemian style fashion coming in a lot in a big way this upcoming season, and I actually find this to be a really wearable trend, whether it's a suede overcoat or really lovely billowy, blousy materials. We're seeing lots of kind of ruffle detail, but one of the easiest, in my opinion, ways of incorporating the boho trend into wardrobe is within your handbag of choice, and Hobbs have got the perfect piece. This colour, this espresso chocolatey colour, is also a big colour story for the upcoming season, but suede ticking that box, espresso chocolate ticking that box, but also the quite relaxed boho style shape of this bag just means that it is the perfect trend piece that's also just incredibly versatile and wearable for the upcoming season. So I think that if you're going to invest in one bag style for the next season, then a boho suede bag is not only really timeless, really beautiful, really practical because it fits so much in it. I'm gonna go and get a pair of scissors in a second so I can show you how it looks without the tags on. But yeah, this really relaxed bag style is very much the bag shape that we're going to be seeing everywhere for basically the rest of 2025. It's got that very subtle little Hobbs logo, and I feel like my regular audience will know that I'm going to recommend Liquid Proof, the suede spray. Cover it in Liquid Proof before you take it out for the first time, and that will just help to protect it from any moisture damage. So speaking of the Queen going down to Balmoral, or up to Balmoral, the next piece from the Hobbs collection, which is so perfect for this all crazy weather time of year, but also is going to be a wardrobe staple come autumn winter, is a barn style jacket in the colour of the season, or should I say the neutral colour of the season. espresso. We are still going to be loving this beautiful, rich, deep brown, incredibly wearable shade for the rest of the year, and I'm so happy about it. So, looking at the detail on this jacket, it's just perfection. First of all, it's actually quite a lightweight jacket, and I think that this lovely balmy temperature that we're having at the moment is going to go on into autumn as well. That is what the farmers reckon as well, and they always just seem to know, don't they? Gardeners and farmers are the ones to ask if you want accurate long-term weather predictions. So nice and lightweight, which is perfect, but also this kind of splash-proof material. You've got the obligatory cord detail on the cuffs. Again, this really beautiful velvety chocolate colour, and on the collar as well. Really lovely check lining. I think Queen going to Balmoral definitely ticks the boxes. This jacket definitely ticks the boxes for that trend. And then you've got the nice big practical pockets. Whether you are a city dweller or if you are coming to the countryside for the weekend, a jacket like this is just so versatile, whether you're going out on a dog walk or you're heading for a nice pub dinner. This is an autumn wardrobe essential, but also days like today when maybe I am going to need a little bit of a rain cover, but also I don't want anything that's going to be too thick and heavy. So this is going to be a real key piece in my wardrobe for, again, the rest of the year. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. I am wearing black. I do not normally wear black, but I feel like this coming season's trend of dark florals is the perfect excuse to integrate it into my wardrobe. I would say if there is ever a trend that you're not too sure on, mixing it with something that you're very sure on, in my case florals, that is the best way to ease a trend into your wardrobe. But dark florals, I think this year, we just love florals, and I am very much okay with it. This dress is, again, perfect for transitioning your wardrobe. I know we don't want to think about transitioning from summer to autumn, but to be honest, when brands bring out their high summer collections, we do start to see these deeper tones coming through. So, similar silhouette wise, we have got, again, a shirt style collar and a bow. It's very hard to see because of the dark floral pattern, but you have got a little bow around the waist once again. The skirt actually flips out to have a little bit more of a ruffle down at the bottom, but again, taking that mid-axi length. So very elegant length, perfect as a workwear piece, but also something really fun and feminine if you're heading out for a girls' day, a nice lunch, Sunday pub lunch. Yeah, just another really versatile practical piece. So here you can see the length, you can just see a little bit of ankle. As we start to get a little bit cooler with the temperatures, you might want to go for a little ankle boot, but thankfully the material is still really lightweight, so great for these days when it is still very warm. And you can see it's got a beautiful movement to the fabric down there at the bottom. Another one that goes with the dark florals trend and the earthy green trend, which for me is just always going to be on trend. This dress is actually shorter in length. It's actually a really, really nice length just above the knees with really beautiful shoulder detail. I like this kind of, I guess you'd call it a cap sleeve shoulder. Again, perfect for that transitional time of year. The colours are saying slightly more autumnal, but the silhouette is saying summer, and that really nice lightweight fabric means that if we do get a balmy September where the temperatures are still really warm, but let's face it, we do want to start looking to that autumnal colour palette, this is going to be a perfect piece. Just like that last dress, the skirt has got some really beautiful movement to it as well, and you see what I mean where the length is still demure and feminine, but just a little bit shorter if you do want to show off the legs a little bit after we worked all summer on getting a nice golden glow. And I know that a hobo style bag is maybe not for everybody. Sometimes we want to have something a little bit smaller, a little bit hands-free for wearing crossbody if you're wearing with a lovely coat. Hobbs, again, have got the perfect piece. This is the ultimate classic handbag. You've got, I actually love how this opens and closes. There's two little magnets here, so any of your things that you need to get to really quickly can just slot into the middle. And then if you want your items to be a bit more secure, then you've got the zippy pocket at the front and the back. I think if you are a very organized person, this bag will make you very happy. You can have your coins in the front, your cards in the back, your passport in the middle. It would be a perfect travel bag. Your phone or your lip gloss that you want to easily access in the middle. It's just perfect. Tassels, I think, again, just always on trend. I've got tassels on my shoes as well that I'll show you in a second. And this tan colour, totally timeless, goes with everything. Perfect worn over coats, but also really nice over little dresses too. So you can probably see that the strap is adjustable. If I'm wearing it with chunky knitwear or over a coat, I might want it a bit longer. But then with a dress like this, I might want the bag to be a little bit more hip height, like so. But if you are looking for a practical, stylish bag for the summer going into the autumn winter, then they don't come much more timeless than this. I think this is going to be such a useful one for summer and beyond. And we have not yet spoken about footwear. There is one big footwear trend for autumn winter 2025, and that is loafers. Now this is where I need to do a little bit of practicing, a little bit of just playing around with my wardrobe, because I'm personally not that familiar with styling loafers. It's not a style that I naturally gravitate towards. However, this pair from Hobbs I think is going to be really easy to style thanks to the neutral colour and the fact that they look so incredibly comfortable. You've got a really nice sole that's got lots of support, and here's the tassels again, ticking that trend. The neutral colour in the suede means it's going to go with that boho trend as well, while still being very, very timeless. And of course, liquid proof these before you go out anywhere. That'll make them totally weatherproof. I think these all look really beautiful, styled with maybe a knit that's this kind of colour and wide leg white, maybe even slightly cropped trousers. I think that will be the perfect styling. I'm going to try a trouser look with the shoes in a second, but I did also want to try with a mid-axi length dress, and the colours in this one are just so gorgeous. I think this blue shade has been the colour that everyone has been in love with this summer, and again I think this length with a beautiful pair of shoes like this is going to be absolutely perfect. This will be a really nice workwear kind of outfit. Great for warm days when maybe you still do need a little bit of extra length and coverage up at the top as well. Oh my gosh, these shoes are just so comfortable. Yes, that is perfect. Very practical, but still a nod to the trends within the tassels of the footwear, the silhouette of the dress. And by the way, every single one of these dresses that I've shown you so far, all of them have got pockets, and this is the perfect sleeve length as well. So, so flattering. I thought these would actually look really good with a pair of wide leg jeans, and it so happens that my favourite white wide leg trousers are also from Hobbs. They've actually got a really nice amount of elasticity to them. I got these in a size up to what I would normally wear. Because they've got that elasticity, they just fit really perfectly in all the right places. This top I feel like is actually a really nice transitional piece, and similar colourways to the shoes. So just to show how these would look with a trouser style outfit, they actually have got almost an inch, I would say, of heel height as well, which if you're small like me is very, very handy. Yes, love how this looks. Perfect colour combo. Really, really nice. The white and the light kind of camel really tie in together perfectly. An accessory that I find so versatile all throughout the year, but especially as we start to think about the next season, is a classic belt. This one you can actually change the colour of it, so just by twisting it can be black or it can be brown. I prefer the brown side, and it's just an absolute classic with a chunky-ish gold buckle. And especially if the majority of your accessories are tan, whether it's tan in your handbag or even your watch strap or your footwear, then it's really nice just to draw the whole outfit together by having a matching coloured belt. And this one from Hobbs is just absolute perfection. I feel like that instantly elevates a trouser outfit. So before I take this off the hanger, I'll just show you how perfect it looks done up like this. This you might find a little bit familiar because this is an update to the trench coat that Hobbs had last year. They have got the most beautiful classic timeless trench coats, and if you are of the mindset of buying things for your new season wardrobe that are totally timeless, that you can wear year after year, then a classic trench is something that you can't go wrong with. They have really beautiful heritage style patterns, like this lovely almost houndstooth, like a soft houndstooth on the collar. leaning into that Queen Goes to Balmoral British heritage trend, and the colour again, a beautiful neutral that is so very on trend for the upcoming season. Depending on what day you guys are watching this, it might feel a little bit weird thinking about outerwear and coats, but actually as I'm filming this now, it's full cloud, really quite breezy, and dare I say it, there's a tiny bit of a chill to the wind, so I wouldn't have even been able to put this jacket on this morning at the beginning of the day, but now, I mean, I'm actually going to show you. The magnolia tree is practically almost horizontal. It's getting blown about so much. Of course, as soon as I point the camera on it, it's completely still. It's just such weird weather right now. But anyway, the coat is absolutely perfect for my lifestyle, for my wardrobe. This is the kind of thing that I know I'm going to get so much wear out of as the seasons start to change. Again, it is quite lightweight, which is great if you do want to wear it when the temperatures are still a little bit warmer, but also when it does come to autumn, to September, October, November, there's more room for layering, putting some nice cozy knits underneath it. One thing that you may have spotted is this fantastic contrast on the belt, and what I'm actually doing is flipping the belt around. You can have it so that it's green on show, or I personally love it with the houndstooth on show. Depending on your style and your wardrobe, this is most likely to be a neutral colour for you, and definitely for me living in the countryside, this really natural green shade is so versatile. So I like to cinch it in and do a little knot situation. Even the pockets, the detail is perfect. They've got little buttons keeping the pockets nice and secure. Gorgeous. And as a finishing touch, a tan bag that, if and when I take off my coat, will really accent with the belts and the details on the shoes. Gosh, this feels so autumnal for the middle of July, but the best pieces always sell out, which is why it's worth giving them a little bit of attention now. I cannot keep up with the weather today. I've literally just gone downstairs, made myself a coffee, and in that time, it's now clear blue skies again. Anyway, I'm not going to make this into a weather report. The final beautiful piece from Hobbs that I'll share with you for today is this lovely dress, because as soon as I saw this, I just thought, for so many different scenarios, workwear where you need to be a little bit smarter, this is the perfect piece that is ticking all of the kind of required dress code boxes, but also a subtle nod. We love a subtle nod to the trends. So what we've got here, not only is the length of it perfect, but we've got a very subtle little shoulder detail, which is just a little hint to that more dramatic shoulder that we're seeing being very on trend for autumn 2025. As I mentioned, these pieces have all got the loveliest little pocket detail, and the length, which you're not going to be able to see, the length is that perfect practical midi length, which is the skirt length of the upcoming season. Material wise, it's got a really nice drape to it, really nice hang to it, and there's something just very professional and polished about this. So if you do get to wear things like this for work, then this is going to be one of those really hard-working dresses that you feel lovely in, and with different accessories you can just switch it up throughout the season. So those are a few of my favourite pieces from the new high summer Hobbs collection that are perfect as the seasons start to change, and even with this crazy weather we're having at the moment. Now that it's sunny, I'm going to pop my green strapless sleeveless dress back on, because I think that one is probably my favourite, and my tummy's starting to rumble, so I think it's time to whiz together some gazpacho. So in my mind, I am still in Ibiza, so I'm going to be recreating a lovely Spanish gazpacho soup for lunch. There's loads of nice ingredients in a gazpacho: peppers, tomato, cucumber. You can do a courgette gazpacho or even a beetroot one, but I'm going to start with the basic one to begin with. I just need an onion and some garlic, a little bit of vinegar. What else do I need? And basically just blitz everything together. We've got these amazing organic, colourful tomatoes from Daylesford. Some of them I'll save as a garnish because they are too beautiful to blend. So the only instruction when it comes to making the gazpacho is blend everything together. You will need quite a strong blender, especially because of the ice, but that amount that I just showed you is enough for 6 people and 2 sessions. So I've got enough for when the girls come over on Thursday, but also enough for full gang. We've got all the girls in the office, Jake, obviously Charlie as well, so enough for everyone today for lunch as well. With gazpacho, it's not like a soup that you need a big bowl, so I have done them in these little teeny weeny bowls. It's still a perfect portion for a little starter, and then we'll have it with the focaccia, a really nice herby focaccia, which I'm definitely going to try making on Thursday as well. Maybe I'll do it. I'm not going to tell you who's coming over yet, it's a surprise, but I know that one of the girls is a pro at making focaccia, so maybe we'll do it together. I've sprinkled a little bit of the Zoe Daily 30 on top, drizzle of olive oil and a couple of basil leaves to finish, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. Yummy! Oh my goodness, today has been one of those days that you blink and it's gone. I don't know how it is 6 o'clock already, I really don't. And the fact that it's 6 o'clock already is stressing me out because I have got done a third, if not a quarter, of the things that I needed to get done today. I have been very productive today. Lots of bits that I haven't shared in the vlog, just stuff that I needed to get done. But you know when you just have a to-do list that's this long and you only manage to get this much done, plus the fact that I know it's going to be cloudy and rainy all day tomorrow means that I'm not going to want to do gardening tomorrow, which means I want to do gardening today, but there's so much other things that I want to get done. So my heart and my head are saying to go out and do an hour or so of gardening to chill out, and because you can't do that tomorrow, oh, I'm sorry, I get really anxious about my to-do list and also the weather. It's very weird, I know, and I don't want to project that into the vlogs, so I apologise. But what I am going to do very quickly, I've just been and grabbed a couple of courgettes from the garden that we're going to use in tonight's dinner, and I want to go and pick a few sage leaves because it's that time of year where the herb bed is at its most abundant. There are so many herbs growing, and I know that if I don't make the most of it now, come winter I will be really sad that I didn't make the most of them. So it's a really nice idea at this time of year to really start thinking about how you're going to preserve your herbs for the colder months. One of my favourite things to do is make little herby ice cube molds. So chop up some herbs, add some olive oil, freeze it, and then once they're frozen, pop them into a little freezer bag, and then whenever you make a pasta dish or a soup or an omelette or a stir fry, you can just use one of your little herby olive oil cubes and you get the flavours of summer all throughout the year. So we're going to go and grab some herbs. But before we do that, I have another lovely little delivery that I wanted to share with you. This is from a lovely lady named Miranda Mills. Miranda has been watching the YouTube channel and she thought that I would really like to see her new book, and she is absolutely right. This is so up my street. She's written a sweet little note, and she's also popped in the most beautiful notebook, which actually goes with my outfit perfectly today. I love a fabric bound notebook. I think that is just absolutely gorgeous, so pretty. I'm going to save this for my gardening notes. And her book, oh my goodness, this is called The Country Commonplace Book. A seasonal touchstone packed full of quotes, book lists, recipes, poems, and observations of the natural world to help you connect more deeply with yourself and nature. A highly personal anthology to keep close at hand, stamped with the writer's taste and individuality. My goodness, doesn't that just sound perfect? And I've had a little flick through, and it's split by seasons, so you have some really lovely little notes about the seasons, a few poems, lines written in early spring. Let's skip to summer. Oh, it's just gorgeous. The way that this is written is so lovely. Ah, look at this, a lavender shortbread recipe. I wonder how this compares to my lavender recipe. This book is obviously written very recently, because within the books, I mean, even just this page alone is the most me thing ever. Books for the Country Gardener, and it's got Paula's book, The Potting Shed Murder, as well as My Garden World by Monty Don, Old Herbaceous, I've not heard of that, by Reginald Arkell, Beatrix Potter's Gardening Life. We've got poems, a poem for each month from the garden in September. Oh my goodness, Blood Orange Drizzle Cake. This is such a gorgeous book and I cannot wait to delve into this when I have an hour or so to myself. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen today because of the to-do list that I mentioned. It's really just also post-holiday to-do list, because if you watched the last vlog, you'll know that our suitcases didn't come home on the same day that we did. They actually only arrived with us last night. So I've still got like all the unpacking and all the washing and stuff like that to do. So I'm going to crack on with the bits that I need to do. Charlie, very luckily, is going to do dinner for tonight. So I'm going to tackle my to-do list. Look at all of this sage. It has done so well in the garden this year. If anyone has got any recipes that use a huge amount of sage, please let me know. I've got like the light colour sage, I've got the grey sage, I've got purple sage. I love the flavour of sage, but as you can see, we just cannot get through it fast enough. I think I'm going to do a brown butter sage pasta for my dinner tonight. Yummy, with courgettes. But let me just quickly show you how I take a few stems and preserve it for the winter months. I'm not cutting it all the way down to the bottom because I think it'll start to regrow from these shoots. So I'm just taking it about a third of the way down. Oh, it smells so good. Yummy! Need to top up our olive oil dispenser. I think we told you Charlie accidentally dropped our old one, which is such a shame because we both loved that one so much. But topping it up from our Citizens of Soil box. Okay, and what I'm going to do is make some sage olive oil ice cubes, and I want to get as much sage in each of these ice cubes as possible. So I'm going to really pack them in and then just top it off with the olive oil. I'm just going to chop these up a tiny bit, not too small, and I actually don't rinse them before I do this because I feel like if you rinse them, you just end up rinsing some of the really lovely flavour and kind of essential oils away. So, they just smell amazing. Right, I'm just going to chop it ever so slightly. Some of them are barely chopped at all, but that's fine. And shoving them into the ice cube tray. Bless you. So it looks like this, quite densely packed with the sage, and I'm just going to top each cube up with olive oil. Okay, and now this is going to go into the freezer. And just to quickly show you, here's some I did earlier, Blue Peter style. So they will end up just as these little cubes, and obviously I want to use the ice cube tray again, so I just pop them out of the tray and keep them in these little stasher bags, which is super handy. And then when I want to make a pasta or a soup or anything in the upcoming months, I can just grab a cube, stick it in the saucepan, and we're ready to go. So I've just harvested a load more sage leaves, and I think I am actually going to rinse these and then let them dry out, and then I'm just going to pop them in these little bags and freeze them as whole leaves, not in olive oil, for another option. I was thinking about things that I like to cook in autumn and winter, like sage and onion stuffing or sage and butternut squash risotto. I think that having a few whole leaves will also be really handy. morning, darlings. Pilates done, and it feels like it's been a while since I've been into the farm shop. Look at the geranium sheep, you can barely see their faces. They're so covered in florals now. They are such a good idea. Oh my goodness, I can smell a bacon butty. It smells amazing. I've got quite a shopping list, bits to grab. I've got dinner with Charlie's mum and one of her friends tonight, so let's get the goodies. What is in season? I'm actually going to do some roasted strawberries. Heard them talking about it on the Wellness Scoop podcast. Had my mouth watering and need to stock up on some nice veggies. Look at this, it is peak tomato season. These all look so amazing. Look at this, the cherry tomatoes, so perfect. Isle of Wight heritage tomato. I'm gonna get a selection of these. This is interesting. Charlie and I were just saying we're not sure where to get organic, proper coffee beans that's not ground already. And this is the answer to our query. So we've got Peruvian coffee beans, nutty and sweet. That sounds amazing. Is that the only one? Oh, Honduran coffee beans. I will be your official taste tester, let you know which ones are my favourite. Oh, they've got a few different ones. Cafe blend coffee beans with black cherry caramel and cocoa notes. Ooh, decaf ones. No, not interested in decaf. I'm gonna get one of each to try. Proper good morning to you, my darlings. So we finally got a bit of a cloudy day today, which actually means I'm gonna have a very, very productive day because there's no distraction for just gardening all day. So my plan now, I'm actually gonna head over to the M&S Food in Chipping Norton. Their marketing team, I just don't know how they do it because they always just have so many viral products. At the moment, everyone is obsessed with the Pan de Cristal, which is like a ciabatta bread. That is Sam Thompson. That is so random.
We're listening. Like how many times?
Very random. What was I saying? Yes, they've got the Pan de Cristal kind of ciabatta style bread and the tomato bread topper, which is essentially pan con tomate, which is such an iconic Spanish snack or like meal starter. And as I mentioned, we've got Charlie's mum and her friend Mel coming over for dinner later. They're staying at Strawtop tonight just for a little girls break, and I thought I would do some Ibiza style dishes. So pan con tomate, we've got some jamon, I've got some risotto left over from the weekend, and I thought I would do some little arancini balls. I know they're more Italian than Spanish, but I love them and it's the best way to use leftover risotto. And I'm also going to try making a garlic aioli, because aioli, pan con tomate and jamon, as well as croquettes, are just the best part of going to Spain, aren't they? So, do you know what? I could try making croquetas, couldn't I? Ooh, now we've got an idea. I'm gonna watch a little YouTube video on how to make croquettes and see how easy it is. It's probably not that easy at all, but yeah. So tonight is gonna be an Ibiza style dinner, plus some barbecue chicken. But anyway, let's head over to M&S in Chipping Norton. They, touch wood, they actually normally have quite good stock of the viral products, because I don't think the majority of the residents in Chipping Norton care about the viral products. The farmers are too busy ploughing their fields to care about viral bread topper. Well, I was just listening to a YouTube video on how to make croquetas while driving over to M&S, and I was today years old when I realized that the base inside a croqueta is bechamel sauce, which is also the base of macaroni cheese. So this literally makes so much sense. This is why I love croquetas, because they're essentially half macaroni cheese. Could you make a macaroni cheese croqueta? Or would that just be a mac and cheese arancini ball? I don't know. But I think, given my expertise in bechamel, because of my mac and cheese experience of 30 goodness knows how many long years, I'm gonna give it a try. So all I need to buy extra is some bacon lardons and some serrano ham, and it's going to take a while. It's not going to be a quick recipe, but it's cloudy, so I've got time to spend in the kitchen today. So let's see what they've got in M&S. They have literally got all of the new stuff here, all of the viral stuff. So there's the new brioche rolls. They look amazing. Everyone's been going mad for these, and apparently there's been queues out of the shops for people to get them. I feel like seeing as they're just here on the shelves, I might as well try it. Seriously guys, M&S Shipping Norton. This is where to come for the viral products without any queuing. I don't actually think I'm going to like this, but I think, again, we've got all the team in the office today, so we can do a little taste test later. Great, great, great success. Oh my gosh, that is such a cool Defender this guy is driving. Hang on, I have to show you. Look at this, full on 110, so many seats in the back. You could literally fit 11 people in there. He's got his doggies in the back. Oh my god, that is so cute. Oh, love it. Sorry, I get easily distracted. Yes, I thought I had almost jinxed myself by gloating before I went into M&S that we always have the viral products, but no, they had full stock of everything. The bread topper, the Panda Cristal, which by the way is kept in the fridge. Luckily I saw it before spending ages wandering around the bread aisle, but yeah, weirdly it's in packs like this in the fridge. Got the tomato topper, got the gazpachos, got some aioli. I was going to make my own aioli this afternoon, but I think if I'm going to make croquetas and patatas bravas and the arancini balls, I'm literally going to be cooking all afternoon at this point, so I thought I'd save myself from doing the aioli, even though I think that would probably be the easiest thing out of everything. But yeah, we'll do a little taste test of the tomato and cream sandwich at lunchtime. Honestly, I think the bread is sweetened, and that's probably why everyone is so obsessed with it. I don't want to look at the ingredients. I did also buy the M&S Hamon croquettes as well, so that we can do a little comparison. Anyway, I'm excited to get home. I need to have some breakfast now because I am hungry after looking at all of these yummy treats. Few of the bits from my 𝑑𝒉𝒅 haul, and yes, I'm finally catching up on Love Island. I couldn't actually get it to work on my phone, and I didn't get it to work at all when we were in Ibiza, so I'm desktoping it, but I have upgraded myself again to premium, so I don't have to pay for any ads. Anyway, that was a major digression. I got the boys their favourite dry food, which is the salmon and root vegetable. I just put a small handful in with their different dog, and sometimes they crunch it and enjoy it, sometimes they just leave it, but I like to give them the option. And then we buy our washing up liquid in bulk, the 𝑑𝒉𝒅 Rosemary washing up liquid. These are the 3 coffees that they have as full bean version. Ooh, which one do I want to try today? Very luckily, the beans in my machine just ran out, so it's a perfect time, and I am going to take this very seriously. I'm going to seriously write notes on my phone about each one and really make a decision as to which one is my favorite so that we can get the best one moving forward. I do like a sweet and nutty coffee. This one has got notes of black cherry caramel and cocoa, and this one is light citrus. I think sweet and nutty is going to be my favorite. But I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with the Honduran because I actually can't really, in my head, imagine how a light citrus coffee would taste. It'll be really interesting to know if I can actually taste the light citrus. So let's give it a whirl. Right. Not sure on the packaging. That is the perfect quantity for this machine. Well, I am by no means a coffee expert, that's for sure, but I like to think I can tell the difference between a bad coffee and a good coffee, so let's give this a try. That is so much nicer than the beans that Charlie gets. He always gets really strong beans, and I guess if you are quite hardened in your taking of espressos, then a really strong bean is good, but I like my coffee to be comforting and creamy and just gentle to enjoy. That is delicious. I can't say that I can detect citrusy notes. Yeah, no, I really can't. I really can't get any citrusy notes, but I always think if you add milk, then it definitely dilutes the flavour a little bit anyway. But so far, Obviously that's the first of the 𝑭𝒂𝒕 beans that I've tried, but I definitely prefer that to the beans that we've had before. I'm gonna give that an 8 out of 10. Oh, that's a very sad sight. Well, I guess this means summer is on pause. I'm not gonna say summer is over, but summer is on pause. It's still warm, it's muggy, but yeah, it's currently pouring with rain, and I did not get my fish blood and bone. I know that sounds gross, but it's a really good fertilizer out on my raised beds. I should have done it this morning. Darn it. Anyway, this cacophony, what a great word, in front of me is what I got from M&S. So I'll quickly whiz through it with you. It's actually 5:15, and Charlie's mum and her friend are going to be here in 45 minutes, and I have not prepared any food. So tragically, I'm not going to have time to do the croquetas. I'm so sad. But also I feel like today's not the day. It's grey and it's pouring with rain. And I think if you're going to make Spanish food properly, then it needs to be sunny. I'm kind of annoyed that, well, I'm always annoyed when it's raining, but pardon you, my king. Pardon you. Yeah, it's just a shame. You want a glass of water? You okay? Yeah, it's just a shame. Anyway, so I did get the 3 kind of virally things. I think, again, because of the weather, I'm just not really that bothered about like doing a full DIY version, so I'm really glad I found the M&S kind of quick and easy versions of all of this stuff, and I'm sure it'll be amazing. So the M&S Spanish crushed tomato bread topper. The ingredients within this is what's going completely viral, but it is so easy to make this yourself. It's so easy, and I would actually, like on a normal day, I would have made this myself with proper, fresh, organic tomatoes, because you can almost guarantee that the tomatoes within this, I mean, I love M&S, but yeah, it just says made in Spain with tomatoes from Spain. It doesn't say that they're organic, and it doesn't say where the tomatoes have come from. I can't remember the name of it, but there's this massive like plastic forest in Spain where they grow most of the tomatoes that get eaten around the world. And even Gaz, at the event that I went to at the weekend, 𝑭𝒂𝒕, he was talking about how like the conditions there for the workers, it's really, really bad. And obviously it's just a sea of plastic. You can actually see it. It's this tomato like country and the Great Wall of China are the only 2 man-made things that you can see from space, apparently. So here's me slating the tomatoes, and I don't even know that that's what tomatoes are going to be in this, but my point being, if you have got an extra 10 minutes and you have the ability to make this yourself with tomatoes where you know that they're organic and you know where you've come from. I know that sounds really patronizing, but it's actually probably the easiest thing in the world to make. And then you're really sure of the quality of the ingredients. So yeah, I will be trying this because it's hyped up at the moment, but in the future I will just make this. That's the point I was trying to get to. Because sometimes I want to slap myself because I hear how I sound, and I know that so many people watching are like, Josie, I just don't have the time to make these kinds of things. And it's nice that M&S give us the ability to enjoy pan con tomate when you really are just in a huge rush. So speaking of things that you could really easily make yourself, but that I've chosen to buy, tomato gazpacho. I literally made tomato gazpacho yesterday, but I want to try this version, see how it compares. And ingredients wise, there's nothing in here that I wouldn't want to eat. So yes, I don't know the quality of the tomatoes, or are the red peppers organic or things like that, but there are no ultra processed ingredients in this, which is a tick. And then the watermelon gazpacho, this I think is going to be so refreshing. Ingredients wise, yeah, that's all absolutely fine. I think that'll be really lovely. So what I might do is make them look pretty and offer them in shot glasses when Viv, Mel and my mum arrive later. So because I'm not going to have time to make my own croquetas, what I am going to do, however, is make the arancini balls, and then everyone can just try one of these. So these are the M&S Master Deli Spanish Serrano ham and cheese croquetas, ready to cook. So you just put them in the oven for 10 minutes. I will probably put them in the air fryer alongside the arancini, and I'll serve them with the M&S roasted garlic aioli. Again, ingredients in these are fine. Yeah, no weird ingredients in either of these, so I'm sure this will be delicious. This is really good if you're not like confident at making your own things and you just want to quickly pull together some nice tasty dishes to have a semi-authentic Spanish evening. I don't think I'm gonna like this, but again, the virality of it made me want to buy it. I work in this industry and yet I am a sucker for it. Like, I always fall for the overhyped viral things. So this is the Red Diamond strawberry and creme on soft sweetened bread. It's what everyone has been going mad for. I think it might be quite like sickly. I don't like the idea of tomato and cream, strawberries and cream in a sandwich, but I want to give it a go. I want to know what all the fuss is about. So we'll try that out a little bit later. And then when I was planning on making the croquettes, I grabbed some serrano ham and onions and white ground pepper, because that's what you technically need in a bechamel sauce, but this will have to wait for another day because I'm sadly just not going to have time. I now have 40 minutes until they get here, but this is also really randomly going quite viral in M&S. It's their very expensive pan de cristal bread, perfect toasted and served with our crushed tomato bread topper. So how a Spanish person would do it would be that they would lightly toast this, drizzle with olive oil, cut a clove of garlic in half, and then rub the clove of garlic over the bread. I will show you all of this in a second. And then top with a tomato. So I'm going to do exactly that. And then this one has got the serrano ham and pan de cristal, and it does recommend that you heat this up in the oven for 15 minutes. So I'm going to serve both of these options for when our guests arrive. Okay, I'm leaving the main kitchen worktop area for Charlie to do his food prep for the main course. So I'm going to do the arancini balls down here. Unfortunately, the Thermomix is currently not working, so I'm going to use my little mini Ninja blender. This is not my travel one, this is actually a little bit stronger. I've left this bread out in a plate to get a bit more stale. I just hope that this little blender is going to be strong enough to make some breadcrumbs for the arancini. So luckily today, with the temperatures being that little bit cooler, the floral ice bowl is lasting a little bit longer than when I first made it. We've got our guests arriving very soon, so I thought I would have this ready to go. Even though some of the roses in the garden are starting to go over, this is a nice way of preserving them. And this is actually the second time I've used this exact ice bowl. I just kind of topped the water up and refroze it. So yeah, really pleased with this. I'm gonna leave a couple of glasses out. And yeah, when I first used it, it was melting so quickly because it was so hot, but today is much better. It's definitely something that I'm going to be recreating whenever I've got friends over. And I've just filled it with a few bottles, a few little ice cubes. We've got the lavender at the top, the roses. Looks so pretty. It's starting to crack a little bit, so I think this might be the last time I get to use this one. But so quick and easy and free to make another. A very quick good morning because Charlie and I are about to head to the station to go to London for the day. A day full of meetings. I popped on the exact same dress, hey bunny, that I was wearing last night. I absolutely love this one, and Charlie's mum and friend Mel and Lila also absolutely loved it. It's just got such nice design detail. And then my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 barefoots for pavement pounding all day. But yeah, just wanted to say a quick good morning. I will, as always, try and show you as many glimpses of a London day as possible. But as you guys know, they're always a little bit hectic. I was thinking this morning, when we lived in London, every day was a London day. It's a miracle I managed to vlog anything. But the skies are blue, the sun is shining, so it's going to be a lovely day. Sorry, not the best lighting. I'm just polishing off my yogurt. But this is the dress. So lovely. I think I'm going to be wearing this one a lot. It ticks a lot of dress code boxes. So beautiful. And this has become my London bag, my 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. I just think it is the perfect bag. And fits my laptop. Let's go. Made it to Marylebone. The sun is shining, hallelujah, and we have got lunch at Carlotta, which is part of the Big Mama group. So we are in for some delicious pasta. Yummy! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the grand total of what I filmed during our day in London. That's the worst I've ever done. But the lunch at Carlotta was absolutely delicious. Following the lunch, I had a very intriguing email pop into my inbox from a company called Avenues, and I've got their brochure in front of me because I don't want to get any of this wording wrong. They offer a signature fertility MOT, a reproductive intelligence review, AI 3D pelvic scans, and a holistic reproductive picture powered by AI. And I thought, seeing as, you know, that's a journey that Charlie and I are on, we would go and check it out. So we had a tour of the Avenue facility, which is just by Euston Station, and it was really, really interesting to see everything that they're doing there. Like the Necco Health place that I went to a few months ago, and I've kept you updated with the different times that I've been in there for different checkups, I'm just really interested in how technology can shape all of the different stages of our life, and especially within the health space. So it kind of makes sense that our fertility and our reproductive health is now being so impacted by technology, and the fact that they can do these really in-depth scans to check your whole reproductive health situation, and use AI to make any recommendations for any changes you might need to make, or any options that you might want to do, such as embryo or egg freezing. I don't think Charlie and I are quite at that stage yet, or even IVF. The fact that really powerful technology can help make those kinds of things so much more accurate, I think is incredible. And yeah, it was an amazing facility. You can have everything done there, from your 3D scans to your blood tests, and even the embryo. Hang on, I need to go and rescue Dickens. He was just howling at the end of the garden. If another dog dares to walk in the field near our house, he gets very, very territorial. But yes, we had a really interesting tour, saw all the amazing facilities where they do everything from your very, very first chats to essentially a full IVF process powered by AI to make it as successful as possible. So I'll leave their information down below, because this whole kind of looking into your fertility is so new to me. I just wouldn't know where to start, which is why I was really intrigued to get this email from Avenue, and it was really interesting to go and visit them. So yeah, I'll leave that linked down below. I'm going to pop something that's not white on now and just spend half an hour pottering around in the garden. I need to freshen up the flowers here in the house. We have got guests arriving tomorrow for a couple of days, so I just want everywhere to be looking neat and tidy. Plus, unfortunately, it is due to rain tomorrow morning, so I want to sprinkle some of the fertilizer on my pumpkins. Very exciting evening plans. I just love it when they practice the wedding bells. That sound means that 6 or 7 people have turned up to bell ringing practice, and that is the full 6 or 7 bell wedding peal, and it always makes me a little bit emotional. I always get a little bit teary in my eyes. Obviously that's the sound that we had on our wedding day. Oh, it's just so special. I hope there's a wedding at the church this weekend, because I will definitely be going down to watch it.